that looks like a water bottle that I had in like the 4th grade. And like, I'm glad though that you're not one of those people who buy a fucking $60 water bottle.
Nope.
Fuck those people. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you thinking? Oh, and
Yeah.
water when you drink it out of metal, like metal bottles, tastes like
Uh-huh.
shit.
Yeah. Tastes like
Yeah,
pennies.
yeah.
Or I guess you don't have those there, but
Pennies?
do you not have? You don't.
I think
What coins do you have?
we
I
have
don't know.
pennies. We have pennies and nickels and dimes and quarters too.
Okay.
Yeah, our money is just a joke though. Like
Look.
whoever decided, let's name our coins loonies and toonies. Like they were just trying. That's what our coins are called: loonies and toonies, ones
God,
and twos.
Canada is
It's yeah.
crazy.
We just don't
Oh,
even want to be taken seriously.
that's cartoon behavior,
I
and
know.
that's
No, no doubt. Hey, you know what's one thing that I'm curious about that I can't believe we didn't get to on the show was I somehow generated a new list here. Who is your favorite stand-up comedian?
oh gosh.
And we never ended up getting to what inspired you. I mean, we talked so much, but like we didn't specifically get to what brought you over the cusp. And again, I am
Sure.
still curious for that as a straight answer.
Well, so my dad is like a big fan of comedy, big fan of stand up. And when he used to drive us to school, we would listen to like Carlin and Cosby and like Richard Pryor,
Yeah,
um, Lily Tomlin, like and Mitch Hedberg was like big for us. We all love Mitch Hedberg.
yeah,
Um,
he's great.
but yeah, so we were like we have been listening to comedy since I was a kid. And so my dad, when I was a kid, he was a lawyer. He wasn't like in the courtroom, but he's like also a musician, and he pursued stand up a little bit when we were living in Chicago. And then my mom is a preacher. Um,
Oh wow.
and so I just like come from a very just like outward like performing family, like
Yeah,
we just this is part of what we do.
yeah.
Um, and so it's just like never been like getting up on stage has never been a big scary thing to me. Like I like have been, singing in church choirs and at like recitals and getting on stage for various things since I was a kid. And so has my sister. And so it's that part of it was not like a big hurdle. Like the actual getting up and talking about my like making fun of myself on stage is like, oh yeah, okay, that's easy. Um,
So it was just a
and
natural thing then. I mean, if you were just if you weren't afraid of it, of course you were gonna
yeah,
eventually.
and so I did some open mics when I was in college, and I didn't take them very seriously. But I was in school in a town called Missoula, Montana, and I used to do like there was a monthly open mic at a place called the Union Club,
Yeah, no, I've been
and
there.
I would
I've been
go. Oh,
around
really?
Montana a little bit. You know what's so crazy though, and this is what I'm so curious about now, and I'm just trying to find a way to like nicely talk about it. But
Uh-huh.
Montana is so extreme. Like,
Yeah.
the one thing I remember about when I was there was like there was wild, big religious signs about
Hmm.
stuff like abortion and about whatever gayness, like
Mm.
crazy stuff. And and your mom was a preacher in those areas. Like, what was that
So
like growing up with a
no.
mom who was a preacher?
So we did not live in Montana. I didn't grow
Okay,
up there.
okay,
Um,
Chicago was. Oh yeah, and that's much
yes,
more different. Okay,
it's a
gotcha.
different it's a different
Montana's so
environment.
extreme though. Hey, you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Hey, like
Yes.
I crossed over the border and there was like billboards all over the place. Like God loves you, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. What?
Nice.
Yeah,
um, yeah. So my mom ran a church on the like west side of Chicago, which was a different kind of extreme, intense environment.
oh,
Um, and it's an Episcopal church, so they are like the American branch of the Church of England. So they ordain women, they ordain gay people.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's a very sort of liberal Protestantism.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So I was gonna say, usually women like they can be preachers, I think, but not like usually.
it depends on the like sect of Christianity.
Yeah, for sure.
But she, yeah, in the Episcopal Church, um, and she was my mother is a very very principled woman, and she
Hmm.
was
Sounds like
like
my mother. Is your mom British?
no,
Oh, okay.
um, but yeah, she that experience of like her church and running her church was a very intense experience. And she was very like she's very good at her job and very successful, and just like really brought a lot of people into a community space that they otherwise would not have felt welcome in. And
Okay. Are we
yeah,
talking
it
about
was
mixing blacks and whites here? Is that what we're
um
talking about?
yeah, some of that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, Chicago is a pretty diverse place.
Hey,
Like
I got you. I got you.
there's
I'm just trying to put some actual quantities on this here.
but yeah, there's so like, my mom would do like she would hold funerals for like gang members who had been like shot, um
Oh yeah. So, and they
in
wouldn't
like
normally
nearby
have
like
money.
neighborhoods
Yeah.
where no like other churches would turn them down,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
wouldn't allow that to happen in their space. And my mom was like,
Makes sense.
that's anti-Christian, like we
Yep.
absolutely should lay this person to rest with their family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Makes
so
sense.
um so yeah, it's stuff like that, and so the yeah, she's a very principled woman, and has
Yeah.
a lot of dignity in the way
Yeah.
that she like
I
yeah.
imagine you probably like you because you'd be so tied into the community, you'd probably get a strange sense of authority very early on because your parents carry so much authority. You'd have people come into you and be like, "Oh, you're her daughter," or probably
Sure,
stuff like that, trying to
that's
gain
interesting. I've never
community
thought about
standing.
that, but probably yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, have you ever seen the Righteous Gemstones?
I have, yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so you know what I'm
yeah, I
talking about.
like Danny McBride a lot. Yeah,
Oh, he's the best. He's the best.
yeah.
Another
I
thing I had
have
come across my.
considered.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I've considered dressing as Kenny Powers from Eastbound and Down for Halloween
Oh
for
yeah.
like several years in a row, and just like never quite made it happen. But
Yeah,
I
do
think
it.
that would be really
That
fun.
would be a
Yeah.
good one. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I guess, not the most well-known character. I had this shoot
Okay.
across my mind. I'm very curious because as a barista, I'm sure you have a few of these, and as a
Mhm.
landlord, I have my own as well. What's like some of the worst customer experiences you've ever had when you were working as a barista? Do you have any good stories?
Um, no, I mean, honestly, nothing super crazy. I
You
definitely
ever thrown a
there.
coffee at somebody?
I have not. I'm not a very. I'm much more verbally confrontational than physically
Yeah.
confrontational.
Yeah. It seems like you wouldn't get in any confrontations.
um, I've had negative reviews left about me at
Oh,
3 different coffee shops that I've worked at, um, including the one that I currently work at. And it's like, but mostly it's like you get annoyed with people because they're, like I'm at work and want things to function a certain way, and they want something else from that interaction, and like we're just at loggerheads sometimes.
yeah.
Um, and I don't hide my emotions very well, so like if I get annoyed, it shows on my face,
Yeah.
and people like sometimes respond to that, and
It's
I'm
a
just like,
blessing and a
look,
curse
man,
for
like
sure. I have the same problem. It's the problem with being so whimsical. We're just so whimsical that people can't handle it.
yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So
But
complaint. Oh,
mostly people are very cool, and like I the place I work now is like actually like a really good environment for me. Like a lot of the regular clientele really get my humor and like find me just entertaining, which is great.
yeah. Oh
So it's
man.
like a fun job.
Speaking of that, I love your septum piercing joke. I
Oh
know you
yeah.
used it on the Netflix one, so it's hacky for me to even be like, oh, I love that one. But that one is so funny.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
so accurate. That's like the
Yeah.
one thing. If I ever see a girl that has a septum piercing, I walk that way. You know what I'm saying? Not the lesbian thing, just that like they scare me. They usually have some extreme beliefs. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
it denotes a type, yeah.
yeah, definitely.
But
And that's okay. You know, they're
yeah.
trying to scare me away. I think they're gonna like this guy's gonna fucking talk to me about Joe
Yeah,
Rogan or
that works well for everyone, you know? It's like that kind of signaling,
yeah,
like wearing something specific that like kind of tells the world
yeah, what you are.
what you are. It's like
Yeah,
it's actually helpful, right?
like
It
this
helps
is my
us sort ourselves out.
subspecies. Yeah.
Well, it's somebody pointed out. I heard somebody like a snippet of someone saying this. Like it's very rare that you see like a someone dressed in like full goth walking with someone who's just like dressed normally, right? Like if you're on the street, usually those people, like those birds of a feather, end up flocking together, right? And
Exactly.
it's like
Yeah.
that's how we our style is part of how we find our community, and like
Yeah.
that's totally fine, you know.
Yeah.
Like
It
humans
is
have been doing
weird
that
though,
for the
hey?
whole time. Like
Yeah. Sometimes I just look at people and I'm just like, God, that just they look like different birds, you know?
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
we just have to differentiate ourselves. Oh man. So what other hobbies do you have? Do you like music? Do you
Um, I do like music. I in Texas, I've been doing a lot of two-step dancing, which is like a country music swing dancing. Um, which is a lot of fun. I go out to the dance hall and like get lifted in the air and
so retro?
do the whole thing. Yeah.
Love it.
So that's a lot of fun. And yeah, I love. I mean, taking like care of myself. I love cooking. Um,
Oh yeah,
I
what's
love
your favorite
reading.
dish to cook?
Um, I've been making a lot of meatballs lately, which is like I've just like really loved.
It's like the one thing I don't make.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
even really
fun.
know what a meatball is. Like I know you can make like fake meatballs where it's just ground beef in a fucking clump. But like isn't a real meatball like intestinal webs that's like wrapped around like all the gut meat?
Um, you're talking about some Scottish food right now. I don't
Oh.
know what
Oh,
what
okay.
kind of
I
stuff
thought
you're
I
getting
thought that was
into.
what like authentic meatballs were. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I when I make meatballs, I just get like ground beef,
Yeah.
spices,
Yeah.
and panko or like breadcrumbs,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that just
Fair
like
enough.
helps it kind of coagulate, and eggs sometimes to like help it
Oh yeah, for
stick
sure.
together.
You've got to mix an egg in. Like if you're making a burger patty, I love to mix an egg
Mhm.
in.
Yeah,
My favorite thing to make, let me
it's the
think.
same thing if you're making a burger patty. It's
Yeah.
very similar. You should make meatballs. They're good.
Yeah. I'll start having meatballs for sure. I just like my meat to be like honestly, I like a smash burger. Like if I'm going to have ground beef, I like it to be cooked all the way through, so I like a thin
Sure,
cheeseburger, so that's why I avoid the ball shape, you know?
sure,
So, but
fair.
I've been man, I've been getting into like ribs and ribeyes. Like I
Ooh,
pretty much all I eat is like steak. That's
yeah.
literally all I eat.
You're such a man. That's so funny.
Jeez, yeah. What's so funny is literally it's so annoying, right? That's what I talk about when the shtick thing we were mentioning earlier. It's like I
Uh-huh.
can't be pulled out of it. Like I'm trying to make podcasts and it's so fucking feminine to just sit here and fucking gossip, you know? But then like so nobody watches my shit and then I go out there and I smash apart a pallet and I get fucking 5 million views and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Hey, well, I guess I've got to smash apart more pallets,
yeah.
you know?" No, but
That
I
should be the
actually
format of the show, is that we smash pallets apart.
yeah. Yeah. No, I got into that cuz I needed wood for like making siding. So I started taking apart pallets and then I got pretty good at it.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I like to think I'm a self proclaimed Guinness record holder of the fastest pallet deconstruct. So
Okay,
yeah, just so you know, so the people out
cool.
there know. Yeah.
That is not the same as a Guinness proclaimed Guinness World Record holder, but
No, self proclaimed doesn't. I don't think it counts. I think I gotta talk to somebody and be like, hey, can I be? You know?
you have to like call them
Yeah. They
and
have
they
to
have to
watch
come
you.
record you doing it. Yeah.
I think so to make sure there's no fuckery. Yeah.
Like a representative
Yeah.
of the Guinness
Yeah.
estate.
I got to get the Guinness estate out to my pallet area.
It costs a lot of money to go for a world record. I like when I was in New Zealand last year, some of my friends did like set a world record for shearing sheep, like how
Yeah,
many sheep. Um,
yeah.
I think it
There's
was
no
like
Guinness
it
record
was
that's
a
too weird. There's no Guinness record
well,
that's too weird. That's why it's like
but it
somebody could go, "Oh,
yeah.
pallet deconstructing is stupid," but at the end of the day, there is weird records out there.
If you got a skill, like that's
Go
you
for it.
can have the record for the being the best at that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I want it. I might go after it. I just gotta we gotta save up some money so I can get the
Well, yeah,
representative.
it's expensive. You have to like put them up, and like there have to be more than one like judge, and they have to be like have enough relevant experience to be able to
Yeah.
make sure that you're following the rules and stuff. But
How are you gonna find a judge with relevant experience in this area? There's just nobody.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's somebody who knows how long it takes to take apart a pallet,
Yeah.
like.
Oh, I'm telling you, I've got the record. You just wait. It's gonna
So
be
how
easy.
long does it take you? Have you timed it?
Yes, I can. The fastest one I've ever did is 12 seconds. And I can take a
Whoa.
pallet completely apart into all separate boards because that's the rules that I've set on my own little race thing is that each board has to be separated from each board. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
12 seconds?
Oh yeah. 12 seconds. It was a good one. I got some lucky strikes. The video's on my Instagram. Like because sometimes for the structural crossboards, it usually in best conditions, it'll take like 2 strikes. But sometimes
Okay.
if it's cold outs, the nails slide, you can get a crossboard off in one whack. And
Okay.
that's when you get the really good times. But I've probably taken apart, I guarantee you, I've taken apart 10,000 pallets
Wow.
with an axe alone. Yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Oh, thank you. So what other hobbies do you have?
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, please check out the videos. The 12-second one is on there, but you'll
Yeah.
see it.
Um, I mean, so
I see you've
a
got some
lot of
fancy
this,
bikes there. Those are again not your bikes.
again, not my bikes. Again, I do not own anything in this room.
Hmm. Hmm. Fair enough.
Um, yeah, I don't actually. I used to ride a bike quite often, but most of my stuff is stored at my parents' house right now because
Oh yeah,
I've just been on the road in the van, so I don't
cool.
have my bikes with me.
Yeah,
But yeah, I've mostly like genuinely just spending a lot of my time doing comedy and hanging out with comedy people.
nice.
Um, yeah, going to work, going to the gym,
Hmm.
keeping my life running. I did just finish reading. I was reading Crime and Punishment
Oh yeah,
um,
that's a
by
fancy book.
Dostoevsky,
Yep,
and
very
I just
fancy.
finished that.
I've read like
Um,
some quotes, but I haven't read
yeah.
any of his full. I'm not a big reader,
Okay.
honestly. I prefer to like. I'm very auditory, and it served me
Okay.
well in university because I didn't have to like take notes or anything. I just sit there and just listen.
Yeah.
But God, reading, I fall asleep so quickly. I can't do it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess as a philosopher, you definitely must really like reading.
It was a big part of my university days, but yeah, I just like always read. I was like a pretty like I think like kind of a lonely kid, and
Mm,
so I like started reading a lot when I was a kid too.
yeah. The only books I've
It's like
really read are like Christopher Hitchens. Like I read
oh
religious
yeah.
scholars. When I was younger, I used to have so much respect for like religious scholars like Dawkins. But then
Hmm.
they all started making like documentaries, and I was like, okay, this is
This is weird. Yeah.
way funner to watch the documentary than to read this stuff. And then I started watching like another thing I like to watch is like debates between like religious figures. Like you'll have
Okay.
like Sam Harris
Sam
debating
Harris. Yeah.
whoever else. Like I
Yeah.
used to like Sam Harris a lot. God, he's an interesting guy now though. Just weirdo, kind of like his meditation podcast is just kind of
Uh
like.
huh.
But I get his chill vibe. He's kind of got a lot of a vibe like you, like where it's just totally chill, and it's like
Huh.
so I get it that you have to be that chill to like have the attention span to do philosophy because he's a
Sure.
philosopher as well. That's
Yes.
his
Yeah.
primary education. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, my buddy loves him, and one of my smartest friends that I know. He's a German guy, really really smart, and that's what he loves Sam Harris, and I'm like, dude, fuck, he's just turning you too much into a liberal. Like he's so far liberal that I'm like, you got to watch some other guys too. Like watch a little bit of
Sure.
Peterson, watch a little bit of, you know. But yeah, Sam Harris is very smart and particularly good at religious debate for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have
Yeah.
who else do you like?
Um, so I started reading Dostoevsky because of Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm
And you
like,
move on to Carl Jung soon. Carl Jung is
yeah,
awesome, but
probably.
he's very extreme. Is what's
Yeah.
crazy. He's such an extremist even for back then. Like it's
Mhm.
and then for now it's comes off so extreme.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. Um,
Lawrence Krauss. I like Lawrence Krauss. Have you ever seen the
I don't know.
documentary The Unbelievers with Dawkins and Krauss?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's so good. Check that one out. When you
Okay.
rewatch this, if you do, please do watch it 50 times. Our podcast 50 times, or join
Okay.
the Patreon, and then you can watch this episode. And everybody out there, that's Patreon/Canadian Talk with Stephan. Um,
You're not gonna send me this part of the episode?
no, I will. I will. You don't have to pay for it to watch it. I'm kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm kidding. Um, yeah, yeah. No, this should be a good part of the episode.
Cool.
Um, yeah. What was I saying?
Okay, wait. If you're a Christopher Hitchens fan,
Yes.
do, what do you think about his essay about women, like why women aren't funny?
Well, he is a bit mean. I think that he's one of those guys that, his bad relations with women fueled him a lot, I think,
Sure.
to be where he was. He died, drunk and delirious, pure alcoholic. So there's some things that you don't take him seriously on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's that. I don't like it. If you're asking me what I believe about his views towards women in
Sure.
general, as in
Sure.
particular the funny part, I don't like it. And even though I believe that what he's saying is true, like I actually had a joke planned for earlier on in the episode where I was going to make a misogynistic joke about you being funny for being a woman, but
Uh-huh.
like it is true. For some reason, women aren't great at being universally funny to both genders.
Sure.
But you know, whatever. Men aren't good at being, you know, empathetic, and but yet, who cares? It's just that
Sure.
we each the genders have their own proclivities towards being good at certain things, and
Yeah, that's yeah.
but guess what? It's a bigoted to mention what I just said. So I was actually
Well,
I was in character. I was just me.
it's
I didn't even say
no, it's
something.
interesting. Like thinking about like women are funnier to other women than we are to men. Like I think that probably that is true.
Yeah.
And that's
Maybe it's like
where like
politics. Maybe I'm actually wrong and he's wrong, and maybe, but I don't know. That's why it's so tough to pick the universal constant
yeah.
because,
Yeah.
like,
Huh.
I just haven't. I'm a man, so I don't get women's humor in
Sure.
the same way.
Well, that's interesting for me to think about because like I feel like I really focus on trying to make jokes that I feel like can appeal to men as well.
Yes,
Like I like
yes.
there are certain like sort of subjects that I don't necessarily avoid, but I don't focus on because I'm like,
It's low hanging fruit.
well, and I'm hopeful that I can be funny to men as well. And like that's
You're doing it. I think you're doing it.
thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and that's you going for the hard thing again. Yeah,
Mm,
because if you do that, you accomplish the hard part, and then yeah, because the
mm,
low hanging fruit is being funny to the ladies.
yeah.
You know, pretty. Uh, yeah, just I was about to do an impression of a girl joke, but I'm not even gonna do it. No way.
Um yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do feel like I've taken enough of your time, and but I do like talking to you a lot. So, but we'll call it there. I mean, what's the last thing we can talk about? I mean, do you think Trump's going to have a good term? Do you think by the end of Trump's second term, do you think that something crazy is going to happen again like COVID? like something's going to get manufactured, or something's going to happen, whether it be his fault or the left's manufacturing or whatever it may be. What do you think? It's going to be good by the end, or do you think something's going to happen bad?
I I don't I really genuinely don't know. It's very hard to say. It's so unpredictable. I think that he is really set up to be a lot more effective than he was last time, and
Yes, he's
he's
going
going to
for
be
it.
effective at a vision that I am not, that I don't share, and so
Yeah,
like
he's
I'm
deporting everybody. Like what the fuck?
uh, so yeah, I'm not, I don't foresee a lot of like good outcomes, or like outcomes that I would describe as like
Yeah,
ideal. But I do think that we will continue to see this sort of cycle of like overcorrection for a
yeah,
while. So like sort of American version of extreme right, and then extreme left, and then extreme right. We'll
yeah.
probably get another. You know,
You know,
I do genuinely think that this kind of stuff will settle out
yeah.
eventually, and
Well,
like
you know that
that.
the next Democratic president, the first thing that they're going to say the day they come into office is they're going to be like, what was the first thing Trump said? Where he goes, "We will make it the not the first thing, but he you wouldn't have expected this from a president. It's not something they typically dabble in." You know, the next Democratic president within their first couple of days is going to go, "We and now the government now recognizes all genders as fluid." Like
Mm,
they're going to reverse that whole male female thing.
sure.
That's going to
Yeah.
happen immediately. Stuff like that. But yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
feel you. I feel you because you're definitely talking in generalities, which I get. I wonder more so like what thing might happen, like if they try to take him down. You know, I wonder what they might do with. They tried their first term, they tried various things, and then this term, I wonder what, because they're so smart, they can always
Mhm.
get at anybody, any politician, no
Yeah.
matter how rich they are, they can find a way
Yeah.
to get them. You know.
Yeah. I don't. It's just so difficult to say. You know,
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
so above our pay grade. Like,
Yeah, I think that if he were really to like seriously go after any kind of defense, CIA,
yeah, how would you
military
do it if
stuff,
you were going to try to take down Trump?
well, that would be when he like really ran into trouble with.
The Canada thing is almost working. Like they're almost getting everybody is scared that, oh, look at him, he's trying to take Canada. Like they're going to try to blow up anything they can.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing about him is that he is a performer, true and true. He's
For
so
sure.
slippery. He's so charismatic
Yeah.
fundamentally that like he it feels like he's sort of above um
Criticism because he will
shame,
satirize
yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Because he just ignores it, and so like
Exactly.
it's a real strength for him.
It's a strength for him, yeah. And I believe the source of why he does that, if I had to try to play devil's advocate, I feel like he does it because I think he thinks the other side does it. You know what I mean? But that's all politics, you know?
Maybe, yeah. I wonder how much of what he does is like truly pre-planned. um but yeah, I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with, and like that it feels like it's happening so far outside of what I can control. It feels like it's like sort of out of my
Yeah,
jurisdiction almost. Like I'm
yeah.
like, wow, that has. And I think like my younger self would be disappointed to hear me say something like that, because I think she would be like, we can always impact the politics, but it's like it's so far away, you know? And like I can only impact like how I treat my own neighbors, and like
Yeah.
the way that I.
You sound like a libertarian now.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's like the closest to where I would fall on the political spectrum, I think.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but you know,
Cool.
like I'm not going to turn anyone in for like an ice raid. Of course not. I don't believe
Yeah.
in that. But like,
Yeah.
th- that that feels like the only thing I can really do about this,
Yeah.
is like not participate in what I see as the evils that are happening and like try to be kind to the people I actually interact with.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Well, on that kind note, I guess we can end the Patreon episode. Seriously, thank you so much for your time today.
yeah,
Um,
thank you.
this is shocking. I think you're great. Okay, is that
That
good
is
enough?
shocking. That never people never say that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for everything today. Again, everybody, go check her out on at her website. That'll eventually be a thing. Shut Up Serena is where you can find her right now, mostly on Instagram.
Yes.
And yeah, she's a stand-up comedian, so try to go to her shows if you can. I'm sure she'll be around because she says she's going
Yeah,
to commit to it. She had her eureka moment. So
I have to.
okay, all right,
Yeah, thank you so much.
yeah,
I
you're
appreciate your time.
welcome. So that's
Yep.
Canadian Talk Patreon episode done.